Hello everybody, this is Frank Gamer, once again with voice chat. Today on my program I have my guest, FPSDiesel.
Hi.
Today we're going to be talking about paid mods, especially in light of the whole Steam situation with Valve and all that. So Diesel, what do you think the problem was with paid mods?
Well, okay, so first of all, mods have always been free.
Right.
So obviously, when you turn around and you're like, oh, this free thing is no longer free, you must pay money for it, and it was free the entire time, you can't expect people to change in an instant and just be like, okay with it. That's not gonna make sense at all. I don't know why they rolled it out so heavily.
So you think the problem was with the rollout?
Well, first of all, I think there's more problems than just the rollout. But
Yeah. I think I'd agree with that. So, okay, look.
don't give everybody all of the stuff at once. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to make them eat all the vegetables. Just take
That's a
it,
good
like,
analogy,
one
too.
vegetable at a time.
Because the thing is, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just the way they did it, just springing it all at once on people was a little much.
Mm-hmm.
See, I think it is good that, mod creators have a chance to make money off of their work, right? That's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just suddenly telling people, "Hey, you can pay for this, or you have to pay for this now." That's a little much.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Obviously, Valve is really bad with communication as well. So
Yeah.
this kind of just showed up. There was no warning, no anything.
It's
And
bad when Lord Gaben
they're so
himself.
laissez-faire about it.
Yeah. And Lord Gaben himself, may his name be praised, decided to actually do an Ask Me Anything to address the whole situation because it was such a bad rollout. So that just tells you the extreme measures that Valve was willing to go to at that point.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Apparently, they lost a lot of money just responding to support emails because they're supposed to. And I heard it was some exorbitant amount of money. I don't know for sure.
I heard that too.
Because this is just a friend that told me this. And I'm like, okay, that's nice to hear.
I think
But
it
if it was...
it was part of his AMA. He said something about $1 million in
Yeah,
a
like
week or
$1 million.
something. It's ridiculous. Oh man.
That's crazy.
So here's the thing, okay? Obviously, paid mods aren't necessarily a bad thing, but they're not necessarily a good thing. Do you think that paid mods can be done well?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've advocated for Patreon mods, like, or pay as you go, or pay what you want.
Right.
I don't necessarily think you should put them behind a paywall, because then you end up with Oblivion horse armor again.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, in the script I wrote for the video that never happened, I said, to be genuinely honest, not enough people care to buy your $2 armor set. They don't care how good it is. They don't care if it's in 4K. They care about what they're spending, and they don't care enough to spend money on your armor, so don't put it behind a paywall.
Yeah.
Now, if I was a developer now, I would rather have people pirate my game than people not play my game at all. You get what I'm going?
Yeah,
I'd rather have it have the exposure than it just never see anything.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that. Especially modders, since they tend to try and transfer into game development. It's definitely it's a big plus to them to have a big name behind it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I mean, with prices for mods, this again, because of the laissez-faire approach, which I'm fine for, but the issue is that there's people charging $100 for horse dick mod, and then there's mods like Skywind, which is trying to put, I almost said Skyfall, Morrowind into Skyrim. That's a big mod, and if that mod is big enough and it's filled to the brim with content, yeah, I think they should be able to charge money for it, because by then you're getting to the point of where this is basically DLC. So they should be able to charge. And we make videos on the internet,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So we don't get paid. We don't get paid a lot. We're small, right? I understand that.
Look,
But
yeah, part of
as a creative, we should be able to get paid for our work.
mhm.
So I understand why they'd want to be paid. It's just like for videos, I don't care if people use ad block. But if you really care and you just need to use ad block, which I understand, then you can find another way to help. Like it's fine by me.
It's funny you brought up the pay as you will, because one of the big complaints that they were making was that modders who had a donation button, they were removing the donation button from the modders' profiles and stuff. So that was a big problem, because it's like either you pay or you don't get donated money. It's like it's
Yeah.
a little extreme, I think, to do that all of the sudden. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was too quick of a change. It
Hmm.
wasn't the right kind of a change that the modding scene needed. And because of this happening, there were people uploading mods from Skyrim Nexus and then charging money on Steam,
Ones who
which
didn't own the mods, right? So
they
they
didn't own any of it.
yeah,
Well, let's be clear that modders don't own what they're putting in. I mean, unless they're making custom meshes and textures and stuff
right,
like that,
right.
then yeah. But I mean, technically, you're using the game,
Yeah, it's a
but
derivative
you don't
work.
own it. Yeah, it's a derivative work. Don't fucking steal it and put it on Steam.
Yeah, because that
That's
that
just
person has
messed up.
no claim to it at that point. It's just
Hmm.
some person trying to scam people is essentially what that is.
Which I mean, we've already seen with Steam. Tons of people like to scam
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
cry, victim when people come and say, "Hey, this is really bad. You should do something about that."
Are you talking about green light again, Diesel?
Maybe I'm projecting. I'm sorry.
No, there's a lot of problems with Steam, and it's interesting that they didn't address those problems before adding new ones, because
Yeah.
that right there, it sort of tells you their priorities. Well, we need to make money off of the modding community first, and then we can address the other problems that you're having.
I mean, it's all about the bottom dollar at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, they are a company. I wonder if that was worth $1 million in support fees.
No, I don't think they made much that that week.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it was poor. It was a poor rollout. It was poorly planned. It was poor communication. Everything was poor across the board.
And
I'm
also
not
the
sure.
modders were still poor
Yeah,
because of
yeah.
the split. They got like 25%.
Oh man, 25%. That's so ridiculous.
Imagine how
because,
many people would need to buy your dollar mod to make a good profit.
yeah. And did you see the way it was split up? Was it was an agreement between Valve and the publisher? So then it would be like they both split between the 75%, and then the person got whatever was left over, the 25%. It's like all that time, and you're just putting most of the money to the companies and not to this modder. It's ridiculous.
I don't
I
know
don't,
why. Oh.
I don't know.
That also rustled my jimmies.
Yeah. But it makes sense, though, when you think about it. That's why they removed the donate button. Because if you donate to the modder, neither of those companies are making money from that.
Hmm.
It's kind of shady when you think about it.
Yeah, I understand why the company they have a right because they own it, but again, it's a derivative work.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't want to. I don't give a fuck about the publisher or Valve. They're making enough money.
I know. They
Right?
don't need it.
Just donate
like-
to the modder.
They didn't pour any of the money or time into that project. That modder did. And it's actually helping the replayability of their own product. So I don't
Exactly.
get that.
And
I-
people see mod videos, and then they're like, "Oh, that game looks cool," and that's exactly why I bought Skyrim on PC because of all the mods.
Yep.
I mean, I could just play it on console, just fine.
Yeah, but then how
But-
could you play as Naruto or with Ichigo's sword from Bleach? How could you couldn't
I
do
know.
that.
How could I add all the anime girls to my Skyrim if I didn't have it on PC?
Those are the best. Those are the best mods, by the way. The ones that make no sense in the story. They're just ridiculous, like from elsewhere.
Speaking of overpriced penis mods, I actually downloaded a penis mod. It was very in depth, but
Um,
at least they weren't charging for that. I believe there was a donate button. Forget
you
what it was called.
downloaded.
Well, no. Never mind. I'm not going to explain it. Never mind. Never mind. I said it.
No, good, good.
But there was a donate button, so I think it was called Schlongs of Skyrim. You should check it out. It's on Skyrim Nexus. It's actually really interesting.
I don't think I'm gonna put a link to that in the description.
Well, they'll go find it.
I don't know. Something about schlongs of Skyrim just it sounds like something you don't want to search for on Google. You know?
Ah, just make me sound like even worse of a person. Okay.
No. Seriously though, there are a lot of amazing mods out there. Um, if you notice, if you notice though, it's all exclusively for PC, like you're saying. Do you
Hmm.
think it's possible down, in the future for some of the consoles to get a little modding love?
No. I'm sorry,
You
no.
laugh, but look, consoles are becoming more and more like PCs. They really are.
Yeah, I mean, I swapped out the hard drive in my PS4 for a better, faster hard drive,
You did solid
but
state, right?
not a solid state. 2 terabytes, 720,000. Oh my God, 7,200 RPM
Hmm.
hard drive. So it's a little faster. It's only like 2 seconds, but it's better.
Yeah, that's good.
But I don't see that coming to consoles, at least not with this generation.
No.
Maybe the next in another 10 years.
Yeah, that's what I'd expect because I mean, with originally the PC had an advantage with like the online gaming, and then all of a sudden consoles got it, and then PCs had an advantage in everything else, and then consoles are trying to catch up. That's how it works.
Hmm.
But I think modding is something that really adds a lot to PC games, and I think consoles could really benefit from a community like that.
Well, the thing is that I don't see it happening on consoles is because it's a lot more, I guess, dense to work
Hmm.
with the console than it is to work with the PC.
Right.
I mean, with PC, there's less restrictions. I don't think you need a dev kit fee or anything like that. I know you have to pay out to Sony or Xbox to even use a game on their systems and blah
Hmm.
blah blah. And the thing is, if they bring modding to consoles, again, they will try to monetize that. So
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, would they have like, oh, you pay $20 a month and you get access to this special modding app on your PlayStation 4, and it lets you download all the schlongs of Skyrim you want.
I don't know. I mean, it's
But
entirely
yeah.
possible. But you have to wonder because Xbox is essentially using a Windows. I mean, that's essentially what it is like Windows 8, right?
Yeah.
So it's entirely possible that they could run, some of what they're trying to run on an Xbox One, or whatever the next one's going to be called, Xbox Two. I don't know. So it makes sense. I don't know. It seems like it's a little far out.
It should be noted that I have seen mods on consoles before, but they're very few and far between, and
Oh
usually
yeah,
they're just like skin swaps.
yeah,
Or like GTA, you can skin swap everyone to a zombie.
yeah.
It's a
That's
long day.
yeah. So here's the last thing about the paid mods. Okay. Do you think other than just Steam, other platforms will follow suit for paid mods?
Hmm. Well, I think doesn't ModDB have something where does it? I'm pretty sure it has paid mods
Do they?
on it. They might. Don't quote me on that.
Hmm.
I know Nexus does not, but they'll allow you to have a donate.
Ah,
What I could see happening is if the Steam mod thing, just so happened to work out, and we're doomed and modding is over or whatever the fuck people want to say. Um, I could see the publisher strong arming a website like Nexus and being like, okay, Steam did it. You have to make people pay for mods. you have to make this an option. It's like, you make this an option, or we're gonna come at you with a whole bunch of lawsuits about
Yeah.
stealing an RIP and blah blah blah.
Yeah, because the publisher wants their cut.
Exactly. So, a lot of people want all, like, people should be able to sell their mods for money. And then there's people that are like, no, modding must be entirely free. And I think the answer lies somewhere in the middle,
As it usually does.
as it usually does.
Yeah.
But I honestly think that the modders should be paid for their work, but it should be up to the consumer whether or not they want to pay for the mod.
Right.
And I mean, if I made a mod, I wouldn't make people charge for it. I think at that point, again, if I'm doing modding to make it a job, but that's like very specific to me. But if I'm modding to hopefully break into Bungie like that one guy did,
Hmm.
then I wouldn't charge because, quite personally, exposure is my priority for that. But if you want to make some extra scratch on the side, I could understand. Just don't force me to give you my scratch because I worked hard for it too.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that. Ultimately, I think it is up to or it should be up to the consumer. I don't think forcing them to pay and removing donate buttons was a good idea, and I think
Yeah,
that's
that was
ultimately what they
stupid.
took away. You know.
Oh, I just remembered this. I read an article today by some dumb fuck no name website. Basically, what they were saying is like, oh, Valve got tons of death threats and hate mail, and that's why they canceled paid mods, and it's all entitled gamers' fault. Like, you're the worst kind of person.
Oh my
Okay?
gosh.
Like, that article is stupid, and I'm pretty sure not everybody was sending death threats. I know I wasn't, and I was angry about it. So stop saying everyone did it, okay? It's not everyone's fault. It's specific people that fucked over a situation and made it worse. So don't be that person. There you go.
Yeah, I'm
That's
also getting
that.
tired of the entitled gamer narrative.
Yeah,
Because
that's
I
it.
hear that all the time.
Uh.
Anytime there's complaint about a game or something, they're like, oh, well, gamers are entitled. They shouldn't ask for extra things. And it's like, you just threw all of this paid system. You removed donate buttons. You just completely just crapped on the modding community all on 1 week. And you're going to complain about gamers being entitled? It sounded to me like you have big corporations that are entitled, is what it sounds like. But
Yeah,
whatever. What do I know? So,
you just
do
play
you have any
video games.
closing remarks before we close out?
Any closing remarks? Video games are cool. Play video games. Don't get angry at them.
Yay, games!
Yay,
Go buy
yeah.
mods. No, wait, don't buy mods. So, anyways, yeah, this is Frank Gamer here with FPSDiesel.
That's me.
Thank you for watching, and this has been Voice Chat. See you next time.